Yeah, I'd say, this is as you're thinking about your careers, like you can't always plan everything. I thought I was going to be a lawyer, and then I realized that was probably not the best career, for me. And I would say this is where you just kind of have to go with your instincts about what you love and like and people you like. And I really did decide I had to work with entrepreneurs, and I wasn't the entrepreneur, but I could be the editor supporter. And life just is funny this way. I literally, the elevator opened in my building. Somebody I had worked, I known at Stanford, an acquaintance, not a close friend, but acquaintance, was in the elevator. He happened to work for a venture capital firm in the building. We went out for just had a drink. I told him I wanted to be a VC like him. The next day, he was working on this Victoria's Secrets magazine, catalog deal. And he called Oak Investment Partners that was in Westport, Connecticut, and said, "Hey, do you want to invest in this catalog company with me, Victoria's Secrets?" And they said, "No, we don't do that. We just invest in technology, but we're looking for a research associate." And he volunteered my name. And 1 week later, the lead partner at Oak Investment Partners in Wisconsin, was in San Francisco. He revered Hambrecht and Quist, the firm I worked with. And we met and he hired me. And 3 weeks later, I moved to Westport, Connecticut. And it was just, one of those like life literally, 1 minute later, and I wouldn't have run into Mike and I never would have been introduced to Oak and Westport. And these things are just, I truly believe in fate and just following, your heart on these things. People say, well, you're like my friends were like, wait a minute, you're leaving San Francisco for a suburb of Connecticut, like you're never going to get married. Well, within a week of being in Westport, Connecticut, I met my husband, Ned Lamont, and he happened to, through friends, he just moved there to start up Cablevision of Connecticut. So it just, it just all worked out. That's why I love Connecticut so much.